Hey, welcome in. Well, folks, looks like we got a good, not old-fashioned catfight on our hands here. Caitlyn Jenner accused of blatant transphobia for posting meme mocking Rachel Levine. So I guess what it is that if you make fun of one trans person, that means you're definitely transphobic. If you make fun of anything about them, including if you're trans yourself, because that can be the only explanation. There can be no other explanation. But what is happening here? What is happening? It says California gubernatorial candidate Caitlyn Jenner was met with furious backlash from a fellow famous transgender individual after reposting a meme from Donald Trump Jr. Oh, well, he's evil, isn't he? At mocking the looks of Assistant Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Rachel Levine. So let's take another look there. There's that Rachel Levine. So it must be transphobia to make fun of that person's looks, I guess. Now, before we get to the tweet, I just want to say I don't care about Caitlyn Jenner. I don't care at all. And I don't care what adults do with their own bodies. I just don't care. Now, Caitlyn Jenner, who the media loved before, they don't like now because Caitlyn Jenner is running for the governor in California. And I think the only thing that should really matter is policies. And I think that probably in California, conservatives will just take what they can get right now. Because it appears that Newsom is doing a terrible job. But I guess we'll just have to see. Anyway, that said, what was the tweet from that evil Donald Trump Jr.? So here we have it here. It says conservative girls. There's Caitlyn Jenner. There's liberal girls. Just Rachel Levine. And it says underneath, it seems to hold true no matter what. Conservative girls are just better looking. This is very funny. And this is actually not transphobic at all. It's just funny. It's funny on a couple of different levels, which is why it's really funny. But of course, there's only ever one play, and that is that you're a bigot somehow. You disagree with them, you're a bigot. And this isn't bigoted at all. It's not transphobic at all. I mean, he could have said they both just look like old men with tits, right? But he didn't. But again, they've got nothing else. These leftists, and it's just because of the politics now, right? Just because Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor. So now they have to go on the attack, and because they literally have no creativity, right? None whatsoever. They just have to keep going to the same well. So they have to accuse a transgender person of being transphobic, which makes literally no sense. But, we see this all the time. They call, Candace Owens a white supremacist. They're not even embarrassed by spouting these absurdities. But it's because they have nothing else. I mean, they literally lack the ability to be creative on any level. So they just go to accusing Caitlyn Jenner of blatant transphobia, which, of course, is blatantly stupid. I mean, reality has to mean something, doesn't it? Shouldn't it mean something? But as we find from the left now, no, they don't care. They don't care about objective reality. They just want to make it up as they go. Move the goalposts as they go. Change the rules as they go. And everybody's just supposed to go along with it. And there's no rules except for one rule. Agree with whatever we say right now. And if we change our minds completely in 3 seconds, agree with that. So anyway, another trans person blasted Caitlyn Jenner. Apparently Transparent star Alexandra Billings, who is also transgender, blasted Jenner on Instagram and accused the former Olympian of blatant transphobia. Do you know what I think they should do? I think they should settle this in the ring. I think they should box. And we know who's going to win that one, don't we? Probably the former Olympian. But anyway, this famous person that I've never heard of is criticizing this because it's so transphobic, because they literally have nothing else to go with, right? And also getting attention is great. So let's see. Dear Caitlyn Jenner, reposting Donald Trump Jr. pic says volumes about your self-hatred and your blatant transphobia. Volumes about self-hatred and blatant transphobia. It says, it seems to hold true no matter what. Conservative girls are just better looking. Where's the transphobia there? And as for self-hatred, where? I just don't see it. I think the real crime here is just a complete and total lack of a sense of humor, which seems to be epidemic amongst leftists. You know, the intersectional left and the Marxists and all the rest of them. They just seem to be a very miserable and humorless group, shall we say that. And if you don't believe me, try watching Saturday Night Live, all right? Let's see. I know this rage. I lived with it for years, and it is still a cacophony of voices that haunt me. So apparently she's got a lot of voices in her head that are haunting her. Okay. So anyway, this is called mind reading, by the way. This is imagining that you know what somebody else is thinking. Let's see. But I am not running for public office, and I'm not a self-proclaimed role model. You're in a spiral of spiritual chaos, and your search for admiration and public approval is just as transparent as your egocentric pseudo-Republican, rich, white, of course, race has to come into it. Yeah, white, but that's just bad. I mean, how do you even defend yourself against that, right? Privileged lifestyle that you flaunt. And here, with your private airplane hangar full of lies. Your airplane hangar full of lies. Wow. Do you know what? This is an actress, I guess, and perhaps she should have had a screenwriter write this, and then she could have read it to a camera. Perhaps that might have been better. Airplane hangar full of lies. I think that might be the first time those words have ever been strung together in that way. Airplane hangar full of lies. Oh, it's deep. That's deep. Your $1 million shoes. Really? $1 million? I mean, maybe that's true. I don't know. Seems like a lot to spend on shoes. And then it just goes on. I mean, why can't Caitlyn Jenner just say that this trans actress is a transphobe? Why can't you just do that? I mean, apparently you need no evidence, right? You can just say it. So somebody disagrees with you, you just say that, and it's supposed to work. But it only works if you're on the right political team. That's the problem, right? Let's see. Self-reflection takes divine courage. Unless you're a leftist, and then you're just right all the time, and everybody has to agree with you. Otherwise, you're an ist or an ism. So you know what this is? This is just agree with me or you're a bad person. That's all this is. Let's see. I mean, there's stuff like, I cannot tell you those terrible voices will ever go away. They haven't for me. But every day that I'm able to navigate that ache of self-harm born of my own denial of my divine light, I am just a little bit free. This just sounds like somebody who's mentally ill who keeps talking about voices in their head. This just feels like narcissism to me. And all of it just over just a silly joke, which is a pretty good joke. You know, if you can't take a joke, maybe you're the problem. So I don't know. I mean, I see this kind of stuff and I just think, you know what this Alexandra Billings deserves? Deserves a governor, Caitlyn Jenner, who's got to cut your taxes and make California safer for you. And you're going to have to live in that hell, that hell of having a better quality of life. But in any case, the world gets weirder and weirder. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.